Napa Valley. Just north of San Francisco, this mere 450 square mile plot is home to 43,000 acres of grapes. Over 2,000 wines are made here, most sourced from grapes grown on the area's 400 vineyards, which welcome 3.7 million visitors each year. The area is indeed rural farmland, with a 25-degree swing in average daily temperatures from the mountains to the valley. It's a climate ideal for producing a wide range of wines. Today, only 12% of wineries here have female winemakers. It also boasts 15 Michelin star restaurants, but none are currently led by women chefs. But women are rising in Napa. From the chef-driven excellence of Mustard's Grill, to the olive oil tasting experience at Grove 45, to Oprah's favorite English muffins at Model Bakery, to wines that deserve 100 points at Fantasca and Rarecat. Women have shaped the excellence of this region, and they're defining its future as a destination. Plus, places like Reams, California are worth a visit before and after your Napa experience. If you like wine, or even if you aren't drinking, there's something for every taste in Napa Valley. With more than 2,000 different wines produced here, there is no shortage of winemakers in Napa. But then, there are some vintners who are true forces of nature. Sharon Kazan Harris is one of them. Harris is the chief winemaker and owner of Rarecat Wines, named for a woman of distinctive beauty. And Sharon herself is a Rarecat. She sees wine as a means of advancing change, especially for women. But just being around Sharon is a moment of inspiration. You can tell this is someone who loves what she does, and she's damn good at it. We spent an afternoon with Sharon at her private tasting space outside St. Helena. It's a converted pole shed filled to the brim with antiquities from around the world, contemporary murals, and surrounded by acres and acres of grapes. Kitty Fahey, a longtime friend of mine from Minneapolis and New York, happened to be in the area the same day Dawn and I were tasting at Rarecat. I'm so glad she joined us for an impromptu adventure. Sharon is equally a marvelous educator on the science of winemaking. Frankly, you'll never enjoy a chemistry class this much.
So I ended up finishing UCLA economics major, not a French major, and then I moved back to Bordeaux and ended up working for a 2-star chef in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
tell.
Yes,
Let's hear
ma'am.
about this.
Another introduction from this wonderful woman, Madame Tavernier, with this man, Jean-Marie Amat, who was a very famous chef at the time, because, you know, chefs are chefs in France.
Right.
It's like, we have superstars and celebrities here, but there are chefs in France. And so I go to the interview, thanks to Madame Tavernier, and he says, do you know how to cook? You know, it's in French, of course. And I said, oh, no, not really, but my mother is a fabulous entertainer. And he said, okay, you can start on Monday. So I get the internship.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks for putting the vodka in the watermelon, Mom. The height of sophistication in California.
Exactly.
Got me the job.
It was the golden age of entertaining. Everything got doused in alcohol. You put brandy and your turkey, kirsch, and your strawberries. That was the golden age of entertaining, right? I mean, it was
not
just
in Bordeaux.
Not in Bordeaux.
What are you doing to the watermelon? Don't do that.
Still, my favorite dessert is Churros Jubilee.
Oh, yes.
Everything about it, like it flames, it looks
Everything.
good,
It's
everything.
delicious.
Yeah. In 2008, I launched Rarecat. And Rarecat has always been about fine wines, but it's really this junction of really traditional French, blah, blah, blah. You know, we do it like this, with this kind of California spirit. Like, don't tell me what to do. It's like this conflict. Like, you know, don't tell me not to do it this way. Don't tell me to. So, but it really, I think, is that. And when I bought out my partners in 2012, and really, so I own Rarecat 100%. I make and oversee all the wine production. Yeah. I started to think about what would be unique, and what would get me out of bed. Like getting out of bed to sell SKUs through distributors into the market. I'm the worst person on the planet. You know, it's like when I meet a somm who tells me there's not enough acidity in my wine, it's like, well, your kids are ugly. You know, it's like, what are you talking about? You know, these are my babies. Yeah. And like, and who are you? You know, so I'm like 0, the last person on the planet, right? You know, and so I knew that wasn't going to work. But for me, wine has been and continues to be and always will be about community and bringing people together. You have this, you bring people together, you have conversations, end of story. And so Rarecat has always been direct to consumer. We don't distribute our wines. We know everyone who buys our wines. Every year it depends on how, because things change on volumes, but we do about less than 3,000 cases of wine every year.
Yeah,
Okay, we're going to do a couple different ones.
In appreciation of today. Or this.
Pinot Noir, the great Pinot Noirs, every great Pinot Noir on the planet, end of story, exclamation, is grown in a cool weather environment.
Yes.
It needs it. See the difference in these glasses.
Smell the pepper though after that. Oh, I get a pepper always. Like
Pepper,
that's always
Amazing.
I think this is one of the best
This is-
Pinots I've ever
me
tasted.
too. I love
This
this.
is
This
amazing.
is so
Thank
delicious.
you. It has been a massive fan favorite success.
It's the smoothness
yeah,
of it.
I
Delicious.
get cranberry and raspberry, those red fruits,
I didn't taste the
and
cranberry.
a little bit
but
of that spiciness.
Yes.
Great.
That's what I love is the spiciness of
Yeah.
a Pinot Noir.
Cab, every great cab needs warmth.
Oh.
And so these wines, even though this is 25 miles apart, it's like as the this is Russian River, this is Napa Valley, there is a 25-degree on average temperature difference between Russian River and Napa. Because this is closer to the ocean, marine layer, no direct sun, filtered sun up until like 1 o'clock. And here we get full sun.
I love it. And
Root.
Yes.
this.
And,
I'm
and
like
that comes from
black
that
licorice.
clone 6. So that licorice, that concentration.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think this wine is still so big. It's just still
This was the
opening
big
up.
boy.
This was open, double decanted, and like this overnight, and it's still that big. Just
What do you think is
releasing
going to
it.
happen to it in a few years?
I think it's going to get softer. I think the tannins. So the only thing that can happen to it over time is that those tannins start to soften out. They're still pretty big and present. Well, lots of things could happen, but over the next couple of years, I think we're just going to see this.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of softer. In fact, I want to pull a different vintage because I want to pull something different.
Like, I would say that's almost too early to drink, but like the nose on it, I'm like,
Just-
oh, I love that so
Okay.
much.
And it's 9 years.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
incredible.
I want you to try this one. This is like the antithesis. This is like the total opposite.
I always feel bad dumping this out.
do too.
I'm
no,
just going to
don't.
knock it back.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Oh, yay. Although I would like give me that with a big juicy steak.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
see, so, okay, sorry, and I'll open another one. I think I have the 17 out, but I wanted you to try this because this is kind of the antithesis of this. So that is exactly what you need with that wine. This, to me, is a food wine. Like, the fattier it is, it's just going to coat and enhance. Where sometimes, and so I think that this is a beautiful food wine, and, but also like a ribeye, like a rich,
like a real, like my
really.
husband with his Weber. Like,
Yes, this was also opened yesterday, so I think you're going to find this is totally different. The 2019, this is one of my favorite wines to make. It's the Art of the Blend.
Totally different.
Great label.
Totally different. This was the most elegant year ever. Everything was beautiful and elegant about the 2019. Beautiful.
Really? What a good
beautiful. It's just elegant
Okay, what do you
and
smell,
beautiful.
What do you smell?
I got
Katie?
some cocoa in there. Oh my gosh.
Are you getting some cocoa?
I think it's the first thing.
I see the cocoa and I see a little espresso in it.
She's like, I see your cocoa at you
I
an
know.
espresso.
I see your cocoa and I raise you a buttercream frosting.
Yeah,
Oh.
That's
that is.
yummy.
It's okay. I always say we should do dramatic interpretation.
And I think there's a lot of red fruit on this too. Like, yes.
Figure out what it was
so
on that.
beautiful.
But it's just,
It's gorgeous.
yeah. And so this, double decanted opened yesterday, and I think this is like still just beautiful.
Wow, it's so different.
So different. So
It's
different.
entirely different.
And how do you find your members treat like your wines? Like, do they put them in the cellar and save it only for special occasions, or do they view it more as an everyday drinking? Like,
Yeah.
hey, it's a Friday, let's have dinner,
Right.
let's open up a Rarecat. What's the thinking on that?
I don't know.
Yeah, what do you do with yours, Dawn?
Well, I I do not save wines for special occasions.
Every
I
day
make
is
the special
Love
occasion
it.
around what
Make
it
the day
is. And
special.
sometimes you
Wait.
don't even know you're walking into a special occasion until you're sitting there and you're like, you know what? This is a Rarecat Cab night.
I know.
And because you understand the dynamics and that are there, and it might just be Rodney and I, or it might be me knowing that Kelly has not had this yet, and she's such a fan. Like it's
Yeah.
Dawn is
for
the
me-
friend who drops off bottles of wine at my house.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will tell you, there's a massive difference between women consumers and men consumers, and it follows how we're socialized. My experience over a decade of doing this. Women will very easily gift a beautiful bottle of wine to someone. Never a hesitation. But gifting to themselves, to open that beautiful bottle of wine for themselves,
Yes.
not going to do it.
Typical.
Typical. And so
I
really
have
for
to
you.
say that I have to treat it as something
I
special.
yell at you
Yes.
all the time about saving your wine.
And so, and it has it's just, and that it, and there are gender differences on that, by the way. So I
Yes,
always
there
say,
are.
when people say, when do you open that special bottle of wine? And I love this, it's like Wednesday night. Like,
Yeah,
if you've got
that's
something
great.
super special, great, open the special bottle of wine, but why not turn an ordinary Wednesday that's really a tough day where things have not gone the way it's planned?
I love it.
And why not turn that day into something magnificent?
love
So
that.
are we in the
great
business
memory.
of saving wines that half of them are going to go bad because you
They
save
do.
them too long? Or are we in the business of creating memories?
It's so good.
Seriously.
Oh, I love that.